Hello everyone, it's Serpent, and welcome back to another episode on the iCraft server. Here we are in the budding shopping district. It's just barely being created as we speak. There are a couple projects in progress, in fact. I don't know what this one is. Looks nethery though. And over here is Bloxworth's Sea Emporium, or yeah, Bloxworth's Aquatic Emporium of Wonder. So looks like he is still working on this. Okay, but it is mostly finished, and someone has made a lovely bridge over there. So yeah, stuff's coming along. This is this is my shop. It was a joke. I had help on it too. That's how it's so great. But anyway, let's tear this down. That was just some temporary joke thing I was doing. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing that or keeping this up. Don't worry. So I have a couple. What are they called? I guess a couple points I want to discuss at the start of this video, and then we'll move on to what you've probably already figured out from the title. And there we go. That didn't take too long. Okay, I'll put the flower back. It looks good. It was the only part that did, but it did. Okay. Oh, man. Give me that. Yeah, okay. So, you may notice that my my sound probably sounds a bit different than it used to, or I guess than it should, maybe. I don't know. Depends how you look at it. But it should be a lot better than what it was, and this is because well, okay, it's a little bit of a funny story, so I'll start at the beginning. I decided that I didn't like the quality of sound that I was getting. I thought it wasn't good enough, and I thought the mic was the problem. So I poked around and found a couple of mics, but I also decided to try and figure out if I could get any better sound quality from this mic. And it turns out that I have a pretty good mic. You see, I didn't buy this mic, at least not directly. I sort of inherited it. I found it was one that we had lying around, and it turns out it's a good one. The Samson CO1U, and I wondered, why am I not getting good enough quality from this mic? And it turns out I was speaking into it from the wrong direction, and have been for the past year. So that's a little bit stupid of me, but it isn't entirely my fault. You see, the mic is supposed to be spoken into from the front. It's sort of a handheld podcasting mic sort of thing. And I thought you spoke into it from the top. Turns out you speak into it from the front. And I had it just lying down on the table in the crook of a composition book, because I didn't think it really mattered where you spoke into it. And I was speaking into sort of the right area, which is why the sound quality wasn't that bad. But I probably would have figured out how to speak into it right, except that I don't have a stand for it. So I couldn't have it. I couldn't keep it in the right position. It was impossible unless I held it. But then I wouldn't be able to use the computer. So not such a great option there. But over the break, I made a microphone stand out of wood. It's pretty awesome. Looks pretty good. I'd show you a picture of it, but I'm not going to. Too lazy. Anyway, it works really well. So hopefully that's holding it in a good place, and the vocal sound is good. So next order of business, is sort of at the spawn area, so I'm going to head over there. So I'm not sure if I even showed it, but there used to be a giant Christmas tree here. I can't remember if I caught that on video. Probably. We took it down after Christmas though, and we gave out presents. Well, I'm using the term "we" loosely. I was sort of a Scrooge. I didn't realize this was going on until after Christmas was over. So yeah. Anyway, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. So I have a couple presents, and I thought we'd open them together. So there's one here, and there's one here, and I think that's it. I'll take a look around again, but yeah. So I know what's in this one because I watched Waffle's video, and I don't know what's in this one at all. So yay! Waffles went to the end and has been doing so, and he collected a whole bunch of elytras and gave them out to everyone. So that's really, really nice. And I may or may not have already used it. I also created a bunch of bows to go along with it because I like the punch 2 bows better. And he also gave me a bunch of redstone, which is awesome. I was really, really low on that after doing all that tunnel stuff. So, thank you very much, Waffles. I'm sorry I don't have a present to give you. Or, I'm sorry it's too late to give you a present because it's after Christmas. Well, I guess it's not. We could do that. Probably will. Anyway, this one. To me. Ah, nice. Wood and a shovel. Actually, I do need shovels. I've been trying to make a good one for a project we'll be doing soon. Get out of here. Bub, you're ruining Christmas. Okay. Yeah, so, thank you very much, Skills. Yeah. So, that was the Christmas, and hopefully that was fun. Wait, why is there a creeper in my greeting room? That was a bad shot. Whatever. Don't go in there, I guess. Anyway, so that was a sort of mini business, but the next business is what we're going to be doing today. So we're finally getting into that. So you saw a while back, well, yeah, a while back that we did some collabs with other iCrafters on the Hypixel server, Bed Wars. That was fun. And we sort of got our rumps a little bit whooped by Brick over there. And I'm not the kind of person who would I'm not the kind of person who would try and get back at BrickBuilder for winning or anything. I'm not a sore loser or anything. But on a completely unrelated note, today we're going to be pranking BrickBuilder. So we need to get a couple of resources up and ready, and then we can get started. I'll tell you what we're going to be doing. Before we get on with what I had planned, though, I want to put this on. Let's see, mending, and rename it to something. Yeah, I'll just go with the old classic. The only problem with this new mic stand that I made is it's really hard to reach the keyboard around it. So if when I'm typing in a command, I'm doing it really slowly and with lots of mistakes, that's not my fault. That's the mic's fault. Yeah. Okay. So, finally we will get on with stuff. So the project or the prank I wanted to do has a couple different parts to it. What does renaming this cost? Yeah, okay. Has a couple different parts to it. First, there's the actual initial prank. Initial. That should give you some sort of clue. We're going to be sneaky about this. So, the initial prank is going to be sort of Bed Wars related. I'm going to encase his bed with stuff that you might encase it with in Bed Wars to protect it from intruders. And then I'm going to make a couple fireballs coming down over to his base. Maybe maybe some wool bridges. I don't know, something like that. And then we're going to do something a little bit more devious. Nothing murdery or anything. Just hopefully funny and devious. I'm currently en route to the end because we need some end stone. And the Nether hub is looking fantastic. Sharp Rose and Waffles from Nowhere designed it. They branded it too. Left a little watermark. But yeah, it looks really cool, and all the tunnels are sort of themed. This one's green, and then there's also red, blue, and not sure, what is it? Yellow. Okay. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, okay. Let's correct that little that little spelling error, shall we? Let's see. It was one of these, and then 4 of those. Not the semicolon. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Anyway, so over. I'm not going to my base. Why am I going here? I want to go to the end. So yeah, we want some end stone, and we'll also be wanting some glass. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Signs are very nice things to have. Very helpful. It's so much easier to get off the ground in single player without the internet lag. Still, gives you a little boost. Fortress, where the Skelly Blaze farm. I may have already passed it, to be honest. Anyway. So yeah, we want some glass. Sigh. Maybe bows aren't the best on servers. We want some glass and some end stone, probably some wool too. 30 hours. I think I have already passed it. Okay. Yeah. We want various stuff. Let me get on it. Just a moment. I just realized this is the first time we're going into the end. So, I better do it on camera. Let's see, what's the best way of doing it? That was a good 360 at the end portal. Okay. There we go. Much better. Okay. So, iBlue Fusion has made an Ender. That's pretty awesome. Probably had help from someone else whose name I have tragically not seen. But anyway, that's that. We'll probably be using that at some point. But what we're here for is the end stone, and maybe some obsidian too, because obsidian is. I'd better not deface this place. Just a second. I'll go somewhere else. Yeah, obsidian is something you also want around your bed for protection. So we'll use that too. Probably ought to just go to the end islands, but oh well. Anyway. So yeah, we'll get some materials here, and then... Ouch. Go away. We'll get some materials here, and then we'll head back. Alright, I think I've got all the stuff we need. I have endstone, obsidian, red stained glass, and I think that's about all we're going to be encasing his bed in. Then, for the fireballs, we've got more obsidian, a couple blocks of coal and some netherrack, and flint and steel to light them on fire, and some white stained glass panes for movement trails. Then, in here is the supplies for the devious part, which we'll be getting to after the bed encasement. But first, apparently I need to sleep, and this is not the bedroom. So, turns out Brick's bedroom slash, I don't know, is right in front of the front door. So, sorry Brick, you won't have a functioning front door for a little while. It does seem a little bit odd though that his front hallway is the same room as his bedroom. Anyway, to each his own, I suppose. So, it's time to start. Pop, 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 pop. Okay. Let's go with the endstone next. Okay, so this really won't take too long to do. I was going to make the mound a little bit bigger, but there's not space for a bigger mound, so well. So one of the things we do want to make sure is that we leave a sort of escape route or something like that from the center. And that's because if he dies, I don't want to obstruct his spawn point, and I don't want him to get stuck in the middle of the pile. So, to that end, we shall leave that spot blank, and then have a little path here, I think. Oh, I say as I block it up. Okay, so I'm going to do most of it endstone, really. And then on top of that is going to be some glass, because glass is blast proof. So is obsidian, but whatever. Uh-oh, I'm having trouble getting there. Okay. I'm assuming Brick is too new to Bed Wars to know that both are blast proof, so there we go. That really was not a very long-winded prank as of yet. But still, it should be kind of funny, at least. I'll leave a note as well. That's what we'll be doing after this. So, what I have planned for here is I sort of want one fireball that's already exploded and is flying, and wreckage is flying from the crater. And then I also want another one that's flying towards the bridge in the process of about to explode it. And I might put a little sky base out in the middle if I'm feeling unlazy. But I'm not actually even sure if that's a good idea though. And it might be a little bit annoying for Koi and other people if it's too obtrusive and right above Koi's base. So either way, let's start on the other bit. So he's got, let's see, down here he's got a sort of hodgepodgey pattern of stone stuff. I don't think we'll be interfering with that too much. But let's break these bits. Obviously I don't want to be too mean or anything, so I'll try not to be. And then some of this, I'll try not to get any of the detail work. Don't want him to have to really work to fix this or anything. It's just a friendly prank. Can you see this from the outside? No. Okay. Shh. Don't tell him. Okay. And I'll pop that there. Ouch. Okay. So we have an explosion crater. But that's not really so interesting, is it? It's sort of just breaking his staircase. So we want debris flying off in various interesting angles. Let's say like that too, and then maybe a birch stair over here-ish. Maybe like this. Hold on. Yeah. Like that. Maybe that's the problem with nighttime sleeping. There are still mobs left over. Okay, I don't think I'll... Oh wait, no, a cobblestone stair would go well there. Or would it? I don't know. Okay, so this is turning into a very boring, rambling thing, so I'm going to skip on. So that's looking mighty fine. Yeah. One thing it's missing, though, is some fire. So let's fix that. Of course, this is predominantly stairs. Don't worry, fire tick is off. Yeah. Yeah, that should do nicely. Okay, so we have that. No, I don't think I can add motion lines to it yet because it's too small scale. But we do want to have another fireball coming at him from over here-ish, a little bit higher. Let's hop on over like that. Okay. And we're going to be building it out of this stuff with flecks of netherrack, and that's because that's how they look, the fire charges and the sigh. That's how the gassed fireballs that are shot look. So that's how we're making them. Let's see, and of course it's the obsidian adds a little bit of annoyingness, which is a good thing in moderation. Okay, let's see. Probably another coal block there will do. Okay, and I've filled in a corner. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, so I'm going to finish off this fireball, and then we'll add some motion lines. That looks sort of fireball-ish. Pretty pleased with that. It's all right. Okay. Motion lines. This is going to be the slightly tricky part because we don't want it to look bad. I would suppose something like this would look good. At least, I mean, obviously we'll want more than one, but let's just try that. Yeah, that looks really good, and we'll add some fire on top too. So I'm going to do a couple more of those, and then the fire, and maybe another one of the whole things. That pig seems to be smoking. Perhaps he should get in some water. That looks pretty good. I added some explosion lines there, some smoke or something, and then another one of them. And it does look quite nice. Nice as in exploding brick base. Just a second. No, pig! He really was smoking. He was catching fire in the sun. Okay. Looks like the shade put him out. Anyway, sorry, got another. I had another thing stuck in my throat. Colds are really annoying. But yeah, this explosion here I'm really pleased with. It definitely looks like something blew up, which is most definitely the look we were going for. So, the next thing we want to do, having defaced that part of Brick's base, is add a whole bunch of chickens. This might seem slightly unrelated, and it probably is, but there's an item in Bed Wars called the bridge egg, which you throw, and it creates a bridge in the path that the egg took, and the joke here is that maybe one of these chickens will lay a bridge egg for you, or I don't know, maybe one of all these eggs that the chickens have laid is a bridge egg, that sort of thing. But then we're going to be devious about it, like I said earlier. So we'll put a bunch of chickens here, but first I want to do the redstone project. How am I going to do this? So the goal here, I'm just going to be up straight at I'm just going to be what is it? Straight with you, I guess. At this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a machine that will periodically fill Brick's base with chickens, and I'm not going to tell you or show you where I'm building it, because that would make it easy to find, and I'm going to try and make it as difficult to find as possible. Yeah, so I'm going to have it open up the wall, drop some chickens in from high enough that he can't hear them beforehand, and then shut the wall again. And I want it all to be completely silent from the point of view of this house, so that's going to be a fun project. And we're going to have it dump the chickens in one of the rooms, one of the areas that Brick has, and we're going to and then we're just going to fill the whole base with chickens anyway, and put down a sign referencing them in the bridge egg thing. So let me find a good spot for this, and then we'll actually start building it. Okay, so here we are at the undisclosed location, and I'm going to try and build this thing. So I don't have pistons on me at the moment. This is filled with redstone supplies, by the way, in case you were wondering. But no pistons. Well, I could make pistons, but I don't. I need sticky pistons. So I'll have to I'll just use these. That's in place of the piston. And I'll swap that out after I've finished building it. So what we want really is just a chicken holding cell. Let's get that up. Okay, let's see, just a second. Right here is going to be a block. Just give me a few of these. A block there, and then we'll want to retract it with a piston, or you know, retract and extend with piston, like that. And normally we'll want that to be on to keep the chickens in, because we'll only drop it once every so often. So that's how that's gonna work. And we'll hook that up to a daylight sensor and randomizer, so that every couple days it'll dump a whole bunch of chickens in, every couple of daylight cycles. Well, maybe less, we'll see. So really the chicken thing is going to be quite easy. We just want a dispenser. Don't have one of those, so I'll just use an oak log. Go there, pop, and pop. So a dispenser, pointing in here, and we'll fill that around with some glass. Don't have too much normal, so I'll just use that. A lot of I don't have it, so I'll use this instead. Going on around here. Then into that we just need a hopper because because we just need a hopper. Doesn't have to be fancy or anything. And then the chickens will stand here, like that. So pathetic. There we go. And the chickens will stand there, like I said. And then we want an auto dispenser here. So I'll hook that up since it's a little bit less interesting. Okay, so here's the almost finished system. Oh yeah, we also have to take a wire down to the retracting piston that retracts the wall. But anyway, over here is a daylight sensor, and when the daylight reaches a certain number, the signal strength gets over to here, and turns off these torches. That retracts this piston, or log, which pulls the block back and allows chickens to fall. And it also activates this clock, this hopper clock, just that, which shoots the eggs out of the dispensers. Yeah, that's about that. And then the chickens hatch and fall down, and then happy brick space overrun with chickens. So now I just need to, as I said, bring a wire down from here to down there, and put in the sticky pistons, and then the prank's finished. Alright, so I've got the sticky pistons, and I've already put one down down there. So now it's just the one up here, really. Okay, so pop that, and then get rid of that, and then put that down, and there we go. Let's make that a nicer block, like so. Okay. So now that we have this all set up, it should be functional. And now I need to check to make sure that it actually does work. So I'm going to do that. But then we can put the chickens in here, and we'll run a redstone line down to the other piston, and all shall be very nice. At least for me. Maybe not so much for BrickBuilder. That's not good. Okay. Quick. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Okay, I think he just broke it and then ignored it. Sniff. Quick, log out. That was okay. Well, hopefully that won't ruin it too much. So after that, slightly scary experience, it's time to actually put the chickens in. That was not ideal, but I think it turned out all right. Okay, time to go get the chickens, and then I guess I'll probably tell Brick that he can get on once we've finished it. You know, put the signs up and everything. All right, so I've hooked up the piston and everything, and it's it's time to spread the chickens about. I've also written a book. I'll get to that in a minute. But first, the joyous spreading of the chickens. This room is pretty big, so I think I'll put most of them in here. Hey, it's a crafting table. Okay. So, I think this should do pretty nicely as a prank. But yeah, I think I'll just spam these around, and we'll see how he reacts, having already seen most of it. Or, I don't know if he's seen most of it, but at least some of it. Okay, so we have everything ready, and now it's time for the book. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, hey Brick, I noticed your bed was very unprotected, so I helped you out a bit. Just in time, too, as there seems to be an attack going on outside. I also got you all these chickens in the hope that really? Why did it cut that bit off? Humph. Now I have to remake it. Grumble, grumble, grumble. In the hope that one will lay a bridge egg. Crisis averted. The new one is written. So I'm going to put this in a chest. If I can get over there, I'm going to put this in a chest, and then yeah, just put this in a chest. And I also want to make sure that the chicken thingy works. Well, everything's working. I've tested it with the with Day. So I think that's where we'll end this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully Brick will enjoy this too. And I shall ow. Ugh. And I shall see you in the next one, when I'm not burning. Take care. Bye-bye.